All right, and we should be live. So, so today, yes, we are swimming. So today we're going to be doing time complexity, space complexity. I'm going to be reading these, but I'm going to be pretty quick with it. Common data structures and algorithms, and then we're going to start this linked lists project. So, yeah. Probably do that in TypeScript. But anyway, so today is going to be a shorter stream as well. Because I had a long day at work, and honestly, the 3-hour streams have been kind of burning me out a little bit, so I'm going to do 2 hours tonight instead. So anyway, I wanted to go over our merge sort algorithm, and I wanted to show that all the tests work, but also I wanted to highlight why one of the tests failed, because there's a test in here that fails. So if I run the test, merge sort spec, there's a test in here that fails, 18 passed. The long list with many duplicates test. And recall that these tests were generated with AI, right? Like I used ChatGPT just quickly to generate these. Hey, we on right now? Yes, Vortex, we are. But anyway, I'm going through this because their AI generated a test case that is invalid. And I want to highlight this because AI is not perfect, right? So this long list with many duplicates test fails, while all the other ones pass, right? If you want to go over why our merge sort wasn't working, you can check out the project reports channel in the Discord server. I kind of do a summary. There was a little bug with this while loop here. I had the variable left half instead of right half, so it was inserting the left half all the time when one half reached the end before the other, so that was causing the error. But anyway, this test case fails. Okay, why does it fail? So we look at the test case. Here it is. Test long list with many duplicates. The idea here is that there are many duplicates. There should be 4 1s, 4 2s, 4 3s, 4 4s, and 4 5s, right? However, if you count the number of 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s and 5s in the calling function here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 1s. Yes, that's correct. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 2s, 1, 2, 3, 4 3s. But we have only 1, 2, 3 4s. There's only 3 4s, not 4 4s. And this was a test case generated by AI. And if you count the number of 5s, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 5s. When there should be 4 5s and 4 4s, right? So if I change one of these 5s to 4s, or one of these 5s to a 4, and I rerun it, then the test will pass, right? So as you can see here, long list with many duplicates now passes. But that was generated by AI, and it fucked up. I know that's like a very small example, but I just wanted to illustrate it because it's relevant. So if you're in a bigger project and you're using AI to generate test cases, you have to be mindful of the fact that some of the test cases might be wrong. Like it might hallucinate a little bit. So anyway, I just wanted to point that out before we got started today, because I noticed that when I was testing this earlier before stream. So I'll leave that as a 4 so that it works. But yeah. So we're done with our merge sort implementation. And then yeah, so we're gonna do time and space complexity today, which is gonna be like probably kind of boring and some reading, but it'll be good. I already know a lot of this stuff, so it's going to be kind of a review. But I'm just going to kind of skim over this. So the next like hour might be kind of boring, but yo, Stuns, how's it going? And I might decide just to jump right into the link list project if I find this kind of like too easy. It's going well. Long day at work, and it was kind of headache inducing, so I'm gonna have a shorter stream tonight, but you know, it's going. But then after tonight, just so you know, I'll be off until Sunday evening. I'm going out of town tomorrow, so I'll be away. And I will not have my laptop with me, so yeah. Yeah, efficiency. So okay, so we got Is this all on laptop? Yeah, it's all on MacBook Pro. So I have my MacBook here, and then I've got two monitors attached to it. I originally only had one, but streaming convinced me to buy a USB-C hub so that I could connect a third monitor, because the laptop monitor and my one monitor was not enough. You were just looking at MacBooks. I would say they're great. I've had this MacBook for a little bit over a year, and I've loved it. It's a MacBook Pro M4 with an M4 Pro Apple Silicon chip, 24 gigabytes of RAM. Good stream. How's it going, Hup Hup? Yo, Rahul, what's up? We're just going through time and space complexity. How are things going so far? Not too bad. Nose. We finished implementing merge sort last night. Well, almost finished, and then I finished it after stream. And now we're doing time and space complexity. It's going to be kind of like a cursory review because I already know this stuff. I'm just kind of skimming it, but it's good. And I know this doesn't sound like web dev, but this is just a part of the Odin project. There's a little CS section, so I'm just finishing that. Merge sort is hard to implement. Yeah, it is hard to implement, Rule. 24, yeah, it's Stuns. I saved up for it. I had extra money. Like I put aside savings for it. I think it cost me about $3,000 Canadian. It was about that. It was maybe slightly under. It was like 2,900 Canadian dollars, which is like American money. That's like 2,300. I don't know what the USD to CAD conversion is. Let's see. I don't know if I'm assuming Stuns you're American. Are you American? So like, yeah, so that's how much it would be if you're American. Oh, you're not. Okay. What, are you Euro? Anyway, you can do you can convert Canadian dollar to your own currency. GBP. Oh, you're British. Okay, hold on. I think it's the pound sterling, is it not? Where is it? P all the way up here. Pound sterling. I can just use yeah, okay. So 1588 pounds. Whoa. That's how much it would be. So it's like not maybe as much for you. I don't know. You spent a whole day trying to implement merge sort on your own, couldn't do it, had to look it up. Yeah, Rahul, it's not easy. I had done it before once for school, but I was really rusty. Yeah, the Canadian dollar, Stuns, is really weak. It's really weak. Like one Canadian dollar is only 55 pence. I'm assuming that's how you guys measure it. It's like 100 pence is a pound, right? I actually, fun fact, I lived in the UK for 6 months when I was a little kid. You're thinking of starting web dev as a web designer? I think being able to develop your websites as well as a game changer. Yeah, exactly. Knows. Exactly. Yeah. It was during. It was actually during the 2008 financial crisis. I lived there. I was little. It was for my family's work. My dad was working there, so we all moved over and rented a. We were like half an hour north of London. In a little, it was, I don't know if you've heard of Milton Keynes, but that's where we were. And I don't mind doxing that because I haven't been there in 17 years. Anyway. You like the CS, so I guess this section will feel nice in the future. Yeah, exactly, Rahul. But yeah, no, lived in the UK. Yeah. Yeah. I was homeschooled, though. I didn't go to school. There was an elementary school right in the neighborhood that we were in. But my parents didn't want us to go for some reason. And my mom was a school teacher, so she homeschooled us. I was like 7 and my brother was younger. So anyway. So yeah, this is big O notation, guys. So this is, what's your long-term goal? I'm thinking of getting to DevOps. Ooh. Honestly, Rahul, I think my long-term goal is to see where this channel goes, and then maybe like, I don't know. I wanna be my own boss. Like I kind of want to do whether it's like freelance work or even get into the like web development sector. I want to change careers. So I want to either work for a smaller, maybe a startup or something in the web development space, probably more back end. Yeah, because I'm in a 9 to 5 right now, Rahul, and it sucks ass. Not gonna lie. Sorry if my employer's watching this. No, it doesn't. You were homeschooled since year 9. Yeah. So I'm familiar with how the British system works. So you guys go to year 11 and then you write like GCSE and then you have A levels, right? Like I know that stuff. And then I think the A levels are like pre-university. It's kind of like our grade 12, 13. Yeah. So in Canada, what we have is we have grades. So high school is grade 9 to grade 12. And then after grade 12, you can do another year called grade 13 if you want, but it's optional. And then after grade 13 or grade 12, you go to university, which is around when you're about 18 or 19. But yeah. But I think in Canada, the equivalent of A levels for you would be grade 11 and 12 here. Because like grade 9 and 10 high school is quite different from grade 11 and 12 high school. Grade 11 and 12 high school gets more specialized. Like for example, like in grade 9 and 10, you'll have like classes like science, math, English, stuff like that. Whereas in grade 11 and 12, you'll have like biology, calculus, literature studies, like political science. Like it'll be more specific. Anyway, sorry, that's a side tangent. But yeah. Anyway. So let's zoom this in a little here. So, okay, so this is obviously an O of n function because you're iterating through to max number, so the time complexity is dependent on this. Yeah. In 9 to 5, like pre 9 a.m. must feel like you have to get ready and your time gets spent. Yeah, exactly, Rahul. Like right now I work 8 to 5, which is kind of shit. And it sucks. And I hate it. I get an hour off for lunch, but still, doesn't matter. I think of it kind of as like 2 4-hour shifts, back to back. So I work 8 to 12, and then I work 1 to 5. Yeah, 8 to 5. Yeah, it's not great. Again, I get an hour off for lunch. 12 to 1 I have off, but still. And it's unpaid, which is even better. But the good news is I'm like 95% remote working. So your college is 9 to 5 and you skip. Yeah, when I was in university, I'm not going to lie to you guys, I really was diligent about going to class at the beginning, but then I started skipping too. So I understand that. Okay, so everyone knows big O notation, right? So that's like you can kind of like bound time complexity. So like big O is the upper bound, omega is the lower bound, and then theta is the average case complexity. Is kind of like the bound between the middle and or the lower and upper. And it's the same, a similar notation can be used for space complexity too. Yeah, sounds good, Stuns. Yeah, so we have constant. Okay, so here's our basic time complexities, right? You can also have O n to the x or n to the k, which would be polynomial time complexity. Input sending to infinity type shit. Yeah, exactly. They didn't really include O n to the k, but that's okay. And then our prof for n times log n, like n log n complexity, he called it linear-arithmic because it's linear plus logarithmic or times logarithmic. So linear-arithmic complexity, which is a fun name. Although here they don't call it that. But that's how we learned it. So yeah, so array lookups are constant, but an array search would be like to search for a value, and here it would be linear, right? Oh, and then binary, a classic binary search algorithm. So start at the middle, compare to the target, and then if the target's bigger, then you find the middle of the right half. Otherwise, you find the middle of the left half and iterate until you find it. So it's logarithmic. Yeah, pretty much, Rahul, but also while loops too, right? You have to keep those in mind. And the other thing to note too is like if you have, let me just pull up like a. Actually, no. If you have like log base 2n, yeah, exactly, binary search. If you have two time complexities, like if your time complexity is big O of n squared plus n, right? So if you have like a multi-factor polynomial or multi-term polynomial in the time complexity, the factor that has the highest time complexity, so that n squared subsumes all the other stuff, right? So O of n squared plus n equals O of n squared. That's another tip that a lot of like, basic or early computer science people might not know. Yeah. So yeah, and then we have linear complexity. So this would be like an array search, right? Yeah, exactly. Like if we go to Desmos here, gotta love Desmos. This is obvious, but like, then we'll do y equals x squared. Like if you see, this is actually interesting, is obviously, well, it's slower here, but this is only for one value. But you can see how much faster n squared grows than n, right? So this would be O of n, right? Linear versus quadratic, right? And then obviously exponential would be even more, right? So, yeah. It's very very drastic. And then obviously if you put in logarithmic, it's like nothing, right? So and then linear-arithmic. This would be n log n here, black. Sine, we're talking about time complexity. If you have 4n to the power 5n and x is tending to infinity, you can just ignore the first term. Yeah, exactly. The 5 to the power n would subsume it. You mean n is tending toward infinity, I think, in that statement. Yeah, exactly. And also all polynomial functions, which are all functions that are of the form y equals like n to the power of x, right? All of these are in the same class, right? And that includes, you know, linear, logarithmic, stuff like that. Because so anyway, I think it does anyway. Those are all like the polynomial class, right? And then obviously exponential is its own class, which is NP completeness problem. Like NP complete problems can be exponential, right? And you can even have time complexities that are sub-exponential. So like for an example of a sub-exponential time, you can have like y equals x to the power of log x. That's a sub-exponential time, right? Which doesn't look like it grows very fast, but it does eventually on large enough input. It's JS. Yeah, well, so we're not actually coding right now, Sine, but we're just doing theory. But I do use JavaScript, yeah. And TypeScript. Yeah, exactly, Rahul. You got it. Bang on. But anyway. So yeah, we got quadratic complexity. So the obvious case of a quadratic algorithm would be a nested for loops, right? So if you have like, if you're iterating through a table. Yep, exactly, Rahul. If you want to learn JS, how to start, any clue? You can check out the Odin Project, Sine, which is what I'm doing. It's a free and open source web dev curriculum that takes you right through the beginning with HTML, CSS, and then it also intros you to JavaScript, like right from the fundamentals. So I would take a look there. You can also use Free Code Camp. I don't know why that keeps defaulting to AI. That's not the first time that's happened. There we go. You can do Free Code Camp. You can take a JavaScript certification here and then start doing the lessons. Like it starts you right at the beginning. Like what is JavaScript? JavaScript is a powerful blah 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 blah, right? BOGO sort as O(n) factorial. I think so, Rahul. But if it's random, it theoretically could go on forever, right? Yeah, day 34. Odin is completely free, Sine. No strings attached. It's completely free. You just have to have your own, obviously, a laptop and an editor and stuff like that. But I don't know if BOGO sort is n factorial. If it's random, is it? Because it's just random. So, oh yeah, you're right. Because the probability is 1 over n factorial, but theoretically it could go on forever, right? So the average performance is n times n factorial, right here. I don't know, Sine. I haven't started React yet. Yeah. So then there's Omega, which is obviously best case scenario. So like if you're doing an array search, the best case scenario would be constant time. That's the example they're putting here, because the item that you want to find might be the first item. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know Next.js yet. We're still on just JavaScript, vanilla JavaScript, and I'm learning TypeScript as well. Yeah, it's well, because Rahul, the probability that it sorts first try. Well, actually, think about it this way: if you feed it an already sorted algorithm, it would be O of 1, right? Because actually no, it'd be O of n. Be O of n, because you still have to verify that it's sorted, right? Because the n part, so it's n times n factorial, and the reason the n factor is there is because you have to search every time to make sure it's sorted. I'm pretty sure that's the reasoning. Yeah. That's the like the checker for. Yeah. Yeah, this is all pretty simple stuff. So even if it's O n over 2 plus 5n, or O n plus 5 over 2n, yeah. The highest factor subsumes all, so. What am I aiming for, masculine? So basically, this whole, I'll actually start my break here. This whole channel is created to document my journey learning web development from scratch. And I started with the Odin Project. So right now, in the short term, the goal is to just finish the Odin Project. So I'm working through the JavaScript course, which I'm like 2/3 of the way finished. So I'm in this computer science section. And then after that's done, then there's like a course on advanced HTML, CSS, React, Node, stuff like that. And then when I'm done this course, I'm going to use the fundamentals that I gained from here and start building personal projects and doing some extra learning on like self-guided learning with maybe some community collaboration and stuff. So that's kind of like my short to medium term goal. Long term, I have no idea, honestly. I'm just kind of taking it day by day and chipping away at the Odin project to start, because I figured it would give me a good, few months of stream content, right? To kind of get initiated with YouTube, getting used to streaming, stuff like that. There's a website called Full OpenStack. Let's check it out. Oh, Full Stack Open. I think that's maybe what you meant. This looks cool too. This looks similarly open as Odin Project. Maybe. Like similarly as open-ended. Yeah, like this is just like tutorial stuff, right? Yeah, this is cool. Yo, Jay, how's it going? Oh, some people recommend it after finishing the Odin project. I'll definitely like add it to I'll add it to my pinned here. Full stack open. I'll add it to my little list. It looks like just tutorials, Rahul. We can like go through it. Let's look at this. Node.js and Express. I think it walks you through a project, right? Like this is walking you through a project. Okay, so this is kind of hand-holdy a little bit. Oh, you're working the late shift again? Dang, Jay. That sucks. What industry do you work in? If you don't mind. If you don't want to share, that's totally cool. I just am curious. Yeah, like see, this is basically giving you the exact code that you need for the project, which is fine, but like the Odin project kind of like lets you run with stuff a little bit, right? Oh, tech support? Ugh. That sucks. I feel bad for you. Yeah, I wasn't sure, Rahul. I think it's maybe a little bit more in depth. Like I don't know how much overlap there is between the Odin project and this. Like maybe like React Router, like React Native, GraphQL. I don't think GraphQL is in the Odin project. So there might be like parts of this course that don't overlap with the Odin project. So it could be useful in that case, right? Yeah. Anyway. You lead a team, so it has its ups and downs. Oh man. I hope the people you're leading are good. Front end mentor is good too, Antonio. Okay, let's check that out. Is that like a more front-end focused one, though? Oh, front-end and full-stack coding challenges. Ooh, this is good. Oh, but there's like a paid tier, of course. Yeah, that makes sense. US 8 a month. That's like 12 Canadian, roughly. Ooh, okay, Antonio, I'm gonna have to look into this. Thank you for the suggestion. I'm gonna pin it. I'm gonna pin it for later. You can have a free account. Let's explore like challenges. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so I could do like okay, so I can do free and then like newbie, junior. There we go. So there's 50 challenges. That's not bad. That are totally free. Yeah, I could definitely look into this. Do I know GitHub build your X? No, I do not. Yeah, no, Antonio, this is great. This is great. I had no idea this was a thing. I'll definitely have to check this out for after I do the Odin project. Is it a red flag to have a background in mechanical but have a solid foundation web dev? Absolutely not. Why would that be a red flag? My background is in IT. I mean, I know it's more related, but, you know. Let's see what this is. Read through big O notation, JavaScript. Big O cheat sheet. Ooh, this might be handy. Well, some algorithms, though, are inevitably quadratic, right? Oh, right on, Antonio. That's dope. Yeah, that's really cool. Oh, sorry. If he's concerned the employer, I think if you have like web dev experience that like even if it's building your own personal projects, I would say that's fine. Like I think what they care about more is that you can like communicate well, and if you obviously also have web dev knowledge, if your background was in something else, I don't think it matters. I could be completely wrong though. I don't know. I think I was very lucky getting my job, so I could be totally wrong. It also probably depends on the employer too, right? Yeah, exactly, Rahul, exactly. Yeah, exactly, Antonio. I have the same mindset. I have the exact same mindset. Just finding out the loopholes in your resume. Yeah, honestly, if you want to get into web dev masculine, I would highlight the web dev stuff that you've done. Even if it's not for an agency or a company, just say, I built X app for my personal project or whatever. Yeah, exactly. You tailor your resume to the job. You always have to do that. Like, for example, don't apply to a web dev job and only put your mechanical experience, right? That wouldn't make sense. You can say that you have mechanical experience on the resume, say that you have work experience in general, but like really emphasize the stuff that's related to the job you're applying for, right? Oh, that's dope, Antonio. If you want to link it, go for it. You can, well, actually, I don't know if you can link it in the chat, but you can link it. You can join our Discord channel or our Discord server and link it if you want to plug it. Learn till Next.js and Prisma, including MERNstack. Nice, Dev. Yeah, it does breed imposter syndrome. I'm not going to lie. I still have imposter syndrome for my IT job a little bit sometimes. And I've been in it for 10 months at this point. Oh, it's private just on your machine? Oh, that's fair. That's fair, Antonio. I'm just kind of checking these out. I'm not going into super detail with these because I already am familiar with big O notation. If AI takes over, society collapses. You can't do anything. If AI doesn't take over, you didn't learn anything. Yeah, it's better to learn, exactly. Plus, if you're anything like me and Rahul and everyone else in chat, you enjoy learning. So it's always fun. Well, it's not always fun, but I think it's fun. Yeah, always assume the worst case, obviously. There's also pseudo polynomial functions, right? Pseudo polynomial time. This is the case for knapsack problem. So if you've ever done dynamic programming, I think the knapsack problem is. Yeah, it is. Here it is. Yeah, knapsack problem. Yeah, exactly, Rahul. And plus, as somebody who works in IT, I can tell you we are very far away from IT taking away, or very far away in IT from AI taking our jobs. We don't rely on AI like at all in our agency. Yeah, like again, I think AI is good. Like I think AI is good as a tool to leverage if you already are knowledgeable about what you're creating, but you have to also understand the code too. Yeah, dynamic programming is hard, I will say. But like I was just thinking about pseudo polynomial time, right? It looks polynomial, but it isn't. So yeah. Anyway, just thought I'd highlight that. Because I don't think they'd cover pseudo polynomial in here, because that would be kind of too tricky. That's fair, Antonio. I mean, if you want to join our Discord and talk about it, you can. Like, if you want to explain stuff and like talk about your learning journey, we kind of have that. We kind of have the Discord set up to just kind of chat about that. If you want to share, but if you don't, then that's totally cool too. I mean, I don't think the government's gonna let AI take over that easily, Rahul. Because I don't think the government wants to give people UEI, right? Okay, so let's cover space complexity now. I'll read these more in detail on my own, but just for sake of the stream. I don't want to just sit here reading the entire time. Yeah, that's fair, Dev, too. Yeah, like, there are a lot of pre-built libraries out there. You can kind of just, like, assemble them together like Lego pieces. Yeah, that's true, Antonio, that as well. That's also true. Love Baber's DP series. Yeah, I'll check that out, Masculine. I know how DP works. Like, I've used it before. It was just a little unintuitive initially. I'm still, not great at them, but I understand, like, the essence of dynamic programming. It's essentially the idea of saving computation through memoization. Like, that's the main insight with dynamic programming. Yeah, that's true, Antonio. You're afraid of a sweet spot? I don't think the sweet spot's going to happen. I think it's either AI does everything or it does, or humans still have to do everything. I don't think there's a middle ground, Rahul. At least that's my opinion. I do work in tech. Well, IT. I work in IT. I'm a database administrator. So I do a lot of like, you'd think I do a lot of like queries and stuff like that, but it's not even really. It's more system administration and policy configuration for like Azure and stuff like that. It's pretty boring. Yeah, Rahul, exactly. It's like using pre-calculated solutions to calculate the next step, essentially, right? Like the basic DP is like Fibonacci sequence, like using the previous two answers to calculate the next answer, right? That's like the basic. Oh no, don't worry, Rahul. It's all good. As long as you aren't in here like spewing like propaganda, which you're not, we can totally talk about that kind of stuff. I just won't talk about any sort of party or any sort of political affiliation. You came into tech with zero knowledge? Dang. Yeah, it is really hard, Antonio. It's really difficult. I agree. And I got really lucky getting my IT job too. I'm not going to say it was, that I necessarily earned it. I mean, maybe I did partially, but it was kind of also a lucky coincidence. Yeah, exactly, masculine. Like, I can say that I'm not, without revealing anything about where I work, because I'm not going to for privacy reasons. Our agency isn't even considering using AI. Oh, glad to see you, Gil. Yeah, I'll be, just a little note too. This is my last live until Sunday night, because I'm heading out of town tomorrow for the weekend, and then I'm coming home Sunday. They said during the pandemic you'd create a button and get a job. That's pretty funny. Yeah, so space complexity is pretty simple. It's basically like mathematically the same concept. Just more for data storage during the function's running than time, like iterations. Yeah, masculine. I generally agree. Although, again, the humans got to be there to catch the AI's mistakes, right? It is, Antonio. I agree with you, which is why I actually couldn't find a job in development out of school, in software development. I also was kind of offered the IT job, so I took it instead, because I knew that if I didn't take the IT job, then I was probably going to be unemployed for a long time trying to get a job in software dev right out of school. So I took the IT job for security. But it's a lot of like most of my day-to-day work, like 75% of my day-to-day work is just, is basically bureaucratic stuff. You don't know how junior developers will get through these tough times? Well, I'm trying my best, Gil. And maybe this whole thing fails and it blows up in my face, but I'm going to do everything I can to not have it fail. Pre-junior dev. That's fair. Oh, here we go. Okay. So this is like a hint at dynamic programming here. Memoization. Which is kind of a dumb name, I think. Memoization. Like, I get it, but I don't know. Yeah, exactly, Gil. I do. Yeah, yeah. I do have passion for it, so I'll persevere. And that's also why I created this channel, to kind of document my journey and keep myself accountable, and also chat with you guys, and get advice from the world, and see what people are thinking and saying about stuff. Getting a remote IT job is max win. Yeah, that's why I took it, Rahul. Exactly. I'm kind of just skimming the big O stuff. I already mentioned that, but I'm just skimming it. Because I did learn this in school. Yeah, sure, Gil. So it was basically just, it was a very, very stupid bug. I can go back into that, actually. Just hold on. Let me open the project here. I'll go through it. So, the bug that we were having was with respect to these final while loops. So basically, I did all these console logs to try and figure out what the problem was, and eventually it did. I did figure it out, and I did this right before stream because I wanted to figure it out before I joined stream. If you go back earlier in the video, I do kind of go through this, but essentially, I have the main function here, and I just basically use it as a wrapper to call the recursive function on the array, and with a left or a low value of 0 and the high value of the array length, right? So what I do is I on the recursive step, if the low value is greater than or equal to the high value, then you just return, because that prevents like doing division on arrays of length 0. So it limits the division length to 1, or the division size to 1. And then you calculate the midpoint, and then you divide for the left and the right half, and then you merge them together and then this division is through, obviously, recursion. And then so for the merge step, I create copies of the left half and the right half of the section that I'm merging. And then I create pointers for the left, the right, and the array pointer. And then basically I iterate through the left half and the right half, and whether or not the left half or the right half value at the pointer is bigger, then I insert it into the array. Like I merge it. And then I iterate, and then I increment the respective pointer, and then basically if one pointer makes it to the end before the other, which will happen, you just fill in the array with the remaining values from either half. Divide and conquer, exactly. But the problem that we had last night was one variable was misnamed. So this variable here, so when we were filling in the right half, I had this as left half because I copy pasted this logic down here and I forgot to change the variable. It is confusing, Rahul. I'd suggest there are videos on YouTube that can certainly explain it better than I can. That's the leftovers, exactly, Gil. But I had this as left half. So basically, for either side, whether the left or the right had the leftovers, it was filling from the left, which was causing the bug yesterday. Yeah, I did. It took me like half an hour to figure it out because I was like, where is this bug? Where is this screwing up? And then it took all of these console logs to figure out. I was like, oh, it's this was not changed properly. Anyway, so I did figure it out, but it's good. So I'll run the tests here. And all the tests do pass. So yeah, kind of proud of myself for that one a little bit. I also posted in the Discord too about that win. So anyway, so yeah, I was proud, honestly. Yeah, console log debugging. That's how I usually go about it. I'm not a huge fan of using breakpoints. I don't know why. I just never really use them. I like using console log, probably too much. And to be honest with you, I've never really learned proper debugging etiquette aside from that. So that's kind of just my default, I guess. Yeah, so this talks about the call stack for space complexity. Yeah, because if you recurse too many times, then obviously you'll do a stack overflow. What's the call stack depth for JavaScript? I don't even know what the total depth is. Oh, it depends on the browser. Interesting. Yeah, those are pretty big. Stack trace. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's fair, Gil. I don't know if there's like a standard way that people do debugging. Like, do they actually use the debugger in the IDE? Like, I'd imagine so. Anyway, again, this is all just for me, so I'm not too worried about it. Oh, you use VS Code debugger? I've never tried it. I probably should. I literally used like print statements in console log for my entire. Well, I didn't use console log because didn't have it, but basically like print statements for my degree and stuff like that. And I never had any issues. Because again, I never took a course that taught us how to debug properly, right? Like, I want to emphasize, like the course, the degree I took was all math, mostly. There was a bit of coding that related to the math, but we never learned how to debug how you would in industry. Right, yeah. Like I have used the dev tools skill, like for when we were doing the API, I was using the dev tools a bit for debugging as well as console log. Like specifically for the network and seeing what the API responses were and stuff like that. Like it wasn't just console log, but I hear what you're saying. That's partially why I'm using Chrome too, because I've heard that the Chrome dev tools are the best. So yeah, no, Rahul, like compared to the other things you have to learn, it shouldn't take too much time. And you know what? I think it's something that I'm probably going to learn as I build projects of greater and greater scope, right? Like if you look back on my channel, like all the projects I've built thus far have only taken me like, I think the biggest project maybe was the to-do list, and that took like 8 hours. Yeah, that's fair, Rahul. Yeah, I should have. Yeah, that sounds like a good thing. I just need to like dedicate some time to doing that. Wikipedia entry on data structures. Binary search. I already know how binary search works. I know how linked lists work. Okay, so I'm just going to jump into the problem, I think. That's fair. We can try using it for this project here. So this is a linked list project. Let's see. One of the most basic and fundamental data structures is the linked list, where basically you store a value and then a pointer to the next object, right? And these are single linked lists. They're not doubly linked. Although I think linked lists are less and less relevant. Yeah, Gil, the reason I did the CS degree was because I could complete it in 2 years instead of 4. And I already had a degree in biology, so I wanted to be done as fast as possible. And yeah, like my CS degree was a lot of theory. Like it was a lot of like math, like discrete math, linear algebra, stuff like that. But no, it doesn't. You're right. Like I wish there was like a software development degree or something like that, or like some sort of college thing that I could have done, but unfortunately there wasn't many options for me, and I barely got in, so the fact that I got in at all was huge, and I needed to take advantage of it. But again, hence why we're here learning, right? So yeah, usually I would have taken me 4, Gil, but I had the university I went to offered a special exception because I already held a degree in another bachelor's of science. So they let me complete, it's like a second degree program. So I could complete the CS degree in 2 years. But normally I would have had to take 4. And that's only because I already had another degree. So they kind of wrote off a lot of the, what are they called? The electives. You just got started with JS, built a to-do list. Nathan, my source is Odin Project. Is it like minor and major degrees? Not quite. So my degree is... Oh, okay. Sounds good, Rahul. No, my degree is full. Like it counted as a full degree. It's something that the university offered. Basically, they wrote off half of the electives. And then so instead of 120 credits to graduate, I only needed 60, which takes 2 years instead of 4. I'm not going to say which school I went to because that'll dox where I live. But, you know, I can prove that I have the degree. Actually, I have to figure out how I can prove it, but I can. At some point, I should. No, Nathan, no. It's Odin Project is like it's a curriculum. It's like a course. It's an open-ended course to follow to kind of guide your learning. So I'm actually just going to create the linked list. I'm going to do it in TypeScript, I think. Where is it? Here, GitHub. So we're going to go to our where is it? Webpack project template. And we're going to use this template. Yo, Kumar, how's it going? Oh, no, yeah, no, Gil, it's not offered in many places. I did major in CS. I majored in CS at a reputable institution in Canada. That's all I'll say is I'm in Canada, Eastern Canada. But it's a full degree. It wasn't a course, it was a full degree. But it was mostly math, as I say. So I learned way more discrete math than I ever need, but as far as actual like industry relevant knowledge, I don't have much. So actually, by not much, I mean like hardly any. So there we go. Now we need to create a TypeScript config. Which should be in my defaults for this, but Oh, you're gonna drop out? Doesn't make any sense to get a degree. The only reason, Nathan, I think that it's good to get a degree is because it gives you that like cred on a piece of paper, right? Like that's kind of why I have it. Oh, you're a freshman. Okay. So yeah, if you're early on in your degree, then you can drop it. Freshman's first year, right? I think. I'm not American, so I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of why I did it. Okay, so I'll do. Let's try just npm run dev. Oh, right. I need to install the packages first. I forgot to do that. Okay, there's our template. Thought it through? That's fair. Yeah, Nathan, do whatever works for you, man. Okay. You want me to zoom in a bit? I can, yeah. Is the text too small? I have it at size 19. I can turn it up a little. Like I can do 20. Is that better? I don't want to go much bigger because I don't like it bigger. That should be okay though. The sidebar small? Oh. Well, I mean, here, let me. Yeah, exactly, Gil. Like, I understand, like, the math behind time and space complexity and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not going to claim I could sit down and write an exam and ace it right now, but, I mean, I understand it more than an uninitiated person. Here, I'll go to the UI. Font size. I don't know where that even is, to be honest with you. UI font size editor. Oh, editor. No, that's chat. Markdown. Terminal. I don't know where it is, guys. Is it this? No. Controls the font cast screen size. It's the console. I could press Control Plus, but then the problem with that is it zooms everything in, right? I don't want it to zoom everything in. That's fair. I just want to change. I just want to change the UI font size. Markup. Let's see. Is Control Plus? Oh, Windows zoom level. I guess maybe Control Plus is the only way to do it. Editor.font size in settings.json. Editor. Does that fix it? No. I guess Control Plus is my only option. That's fine. I mean, I'm sure there's a way. See this Reddit post. Okay, yeah, it looks like I can only do control. Okay, so what I'll do then, okay, this is what I'll do. I'll decrease the font size here. And then I'll just control plus a couple times. There. I'll do that. Terminal's a little big, but we can put that down here. Yeah, perfect. Okay, I think that's a good zoom. I actually might zoom out like one level. Ivy League. I mean, yeah, I have, Nathan, but not web development. No, like I've coded for like solving data structures and algorithms problems, and like I don't know, set theory and like a bit of functional programming, stuff like that. But no, nothing crazy. Okay, so let's see, structure of a linked list. So we're gonna want to make probably a class. Okay, so we're gonna have two classes, and I'll probably put the following functions in your linked list class factory. Okay, so I'm gonna have all of the functions within the index.ts file just for simplicity. I could obviously set them into different modules, but we'll do our node class first. I think, let me just refresh on yeah, okay. So we've got a node class containing a value as I guess it could be anything, right? We'll just assume that the value it holds is a number, and then the next node. Do I want to call it next node? I guess. Node. Type null is not assignable to node. I'll just leave it as undefined. Or actually, I could just do this. Yeah, fair. It is difficult. And then we'll have a constructor for val and next. I think that's how you do a constructor, right? Yeah, so we'll do this dot value equals val. This dot next node equals next. And we have to type these accordingly. Oh, sorry, node. Yeah. I've never done Web3 development. At least, I don't think I have. Oh, I see. Like blockchain, like new stuff, like crypto. Yeah, I'm not initiated to this. Yeah, I think Web 2 is more so what, when you're learning web dev, what you do, I think. Or even Web 1 too, like static content. Yeah, cool. Okay, so that's our node class. And then we'll do our linked list which it has a head, a tail. Does it need any properties containing? Oh, no, I guess it doesn't have. Return the value of the first node in the list. If the list is empty, it should return undefined. I guess so. Like, what are there any properties for this class that we have here? Like, do we not need to store a head or something? Oh, it's like using major blockchains as a major source of truth. Back when I was doing that, Web3 technologies weren't mature enough. How am I learning web development? Through the Odin Project. You can check it out here. It's a free and open source web development curriculum. So we're on this computer science section right now. I am 25, Nathan. I'm a little older. Let me see. I'm just gonna look up a class here, just to see like what commonly. Oh, so it does store a head. I thought it would. Okay. So we'll say head equals node. I thought it would have to store a head. Constructor head. And we'll do node ordinal equals null. Node this dot head equals head, or undefined actually probably. Actually, we'll do it like this because undefined and null are different. Okay, that's good. Build functions inside the class linked list. Yeah, that's what I'm doing, dev crafted. I don't know. Okay, Gil, if you're 29, are you Gen Z? What's the Gen Z definition? I'm definitely Gen Z. Gen Z. 1997 to 2012. Okay. Yeah, I didn't think so. I'm an early Gen Z. I'm 25, so yeah, 96 and 2010. That's what this one says. Yeah. Okay. You're on the cusp, Gil. Yeah. So we have an append and then a prepend. So we can do the prepend. The prepend is easy. We just replace the head. Although I think the append requires list traversal, does it not? Unless we want to also store the tail. Oh, you're 2007? Dang, you're young, Nathan. How am I starting by learning? I made some projects, Zohaib. If you go back in my VODs, there are some projects that are a part of the Odin project, like assignments. So I built those out. And then like this is a project too. It's like to build a linked list implementation. right? So I'm doing that. Yeah, it needs a tail. I thought so. I thought so. I don't think I want to put a tail in the constructor though. I'll just say this dot tail equals head as well to start. .5 in my source. What do you mean? It's going to be a singly linked list, Gil. So the node class only has a next node. It doesn't have a previous node property. So it's going to be singly linked forward. Okay, so the head and the tail will just be getters. Const head. Actually, is that how you define properties? I don't think so. Oh no, it's just like methods. I'll actually call the output underscores here. Oh wait, no. Sorry. New head. This dot head. There we go. Yeah, Nathan, that's the goal. I don't know. I think a tail makes it easier to a tail makes it, keeping track of the tail, Gil, makes it easier to append a value. No, Dev, this is just the constructor, because if you're constructing the linked list with one node to start, although that's probably not true. You're right. I would have to probably traverse the list to get the tail, would I not? Because I was just assuming I assign it. Yeah, you're right. I would have to traverse the list. You make a good point. Which I could just do directly in the constructor. Yeah, or I could just get rid of the tail and then just for appending a value, it's just O of n. Do a list traversal. I actually might do it that way. We could have a tail, but I don't know. I'll do it without a tail just for practice. Both are valid ways of doing it, though. Okay. So we'll do our head and tail. So I think it's get head equals, or how? What is the getters and setters? Hold on. Oh, it's just return head. This dot head. Yeah. And we'll do get tail, or oh yeah, get tail. For the tail, we need to actually just call this. Okay, so for the tail, we need to do a list traversal. So we need to let node equal this dot head, right? And then we need to say while node dot next node. Why are you giving me errors here? Oh, empty block statement. We need to say node equals node dot next node. Return node. I removed the tail because assigning the tail would require a traversal. Do you want the tail in here? Because I can have the tail in here if you want me to. But it would be very similar to this, right? It'd be very similar. It would just be a list traversal. So I think null actually fails a conditional check anyway, so I think that's fine. Okay, so that's our head and our tail function. We'll do our append. And then we'll do value. Add a new node containing value. And we'll say number. We'll just default it to 0. And then we'll just do the same idea where we'll get the tail. So we'll say let tail equal this dot head. And then we'll do the list traversal again. We could probably outsource this and do a separate function. Actually, no. You know what we can do? Is we can say let tail equal tail, this dot tail. We can use the work that we already did. We should probably have the head and tail above the append function, right? And then we'll say tail dot next node equals new node with value. Or is it just... Oh. Left side of has may not be an optional property access. Property node.next node is node, null, or undefined. Why would it ever be undefined? Oh, const. Because we don't, yeah, dev crafted, we don't really need to store the tail because we can just use our internal tail function to get it, right? I think this is yelling at me because this is I need a getter and setter for the next node, right? That's probably why this is yelling at me. I'll do getters and setters. Get tail. Return this, or not tail, sorry, value. That's probably the problem here. Remove question mark. It's because the tail.next node might not be defined, so that's what the question mark's for. That's part of TypeScript. Return this dot value. Then we'll do the same for node next, or next node. Then we'll do setters. So set value, this dot value equals, say, new value, number. This dot value equals new value. Set next node. This dot next node equals, oh, and then node. Const tail is this dot tail as a node, right? Oh, is node or null. Okay, well, I'll just infer the type then. It's fine. Is this better? There we go. If tail, fine. If tail. There we go. Yo, sup, JMac. How's it going? We're implementing a linked list object in or class in TypeScript. And we'll probably be doing that for the rest of the stream. I want to emphasize that tonight's going to be a shorter stream. We're only going to go for another half an hour or so. 35 minutes. So. Okay, so we have prepend. So we want to do, we need to get the node that we're, so we need to say const new node, new head equals new node with value. And we need to say new head dot next node equals this dot head. And then we need to say this dot head equals new head. Yeah, sounds good, JMac. You weren't taught any data structures and algorithms, something I have to learn myself. Yeah, that's true. I think, well, Odin Project isn't the best for learning DSA. I mean, there's this section for DSA here, but it's not like the emphasis. Like, I think if you want to learn DSA, you probably have to get some sort of, like, external training from some other site. Like, I don't know what would be the best site for learning DSA. DSA, not DSC. Yeah, let's see, learn programming. Leak code and code wars, yeah. Like roadmaps to learn it here. Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, this Geeks for Geeks thing has a pretty good outline. You go through stuff like this. There's also textbooks too. Like, let me find the textbook that I used. Yeah, like there's a lot of textbooks. Like I think it was this one. I think we used this textbook in my class. Yeah, exactly. Gil, it's this one. This was the one we used too. With Corman. Yeah. We used that one and oh no, maybe it's not on here. There was one by Tardos and someone else. No, leak code isn't different. Leak code is like practice problems, Nathan. Oh yeah, there are the textbooks are very well written. Like there was another one. I'm not gonna say you should pirate your textbooks, but you know, do what you think. This was the one we did. Algorithm design. We had this one too. Is this fully just online? Nice. Someone just someone got the textbook. Yeah, we used this one, the Kleinberg-Tardos one. Kleinberg-Tardos. Yeah, you learn DSA and then solve leak code. Yeah, exactly, Nathan. That's the one your class used? Yeah, nice. This textbook was well written, I think. The Kleinberg and Tardos one. Yeah, so this guy's also got it on GitHub for nothing, for free. Although it was funny, because our prof, I remember, made us buy this. Which sucked. I had to blow like $150 on it. But, you know. But we were allowed, Oh, the reductions, yeah. Like, do you guys are you familiar with the 3-sat reduction? Ugh, this shit was so hard for me. Like, it was just like I understood what 3-sat was, but just like, it was very tricky. Oh, the 3-dimensional matching. I remember this too. Yeah. Yep. This was like many tears were shed over this stuff. Yep. Yeah, all stuff here. I liked the subset sum problem. That was a good one. Anyway. Yeah, it sucked. You know. What was the other bullshit course I was in? There was like more than one. The discrete math one was pretty brutal. Like learning like temporal logic. And like, was it combinational tree? Was it combinational tree? Computation tree. This shit too. Computation tree logic for yeah, like safety, liveness, deadlock, stuff like that. And then there were like Petri nets. Oh, this is great. Good stuff. Anyway, that's enough CS trauma for now. Okay. Let's do a couple more. Let's knock out a couple of these. Okay, so the size one should be pretty easy. So the size is just a list traversal, but with a accumulator. I think that should just be that. Bonding, yeah, bonding trauma. If I'm not wrong, I'm basically going to complete the Odin Project CS, a couple framework, get over with web dev. Yeah, so Nathan, the plan is to go through the Odin Project and complete all of the problems. And then after that, kind of start my own projects and maybe some more fragmented self-guided learning with maybe a bit of help from the community, stuff like that. I don't know. I'm kind of taking it day by day and seeing what I'm interested in and sort of tailoring it around that. Yeah, sounds good, Nathan. If you want like an inspiration buddy, then feel free to like sub or something. If you want to catch up with more of my streams, that's kind of also what this is for, is to like, so that we can kind of all like, so like I can hopefully do this to motivate others to learn as well. Right? Yeah. All right. So let's do at index number. And then we'll say we have to check that the index is an integer that's greater than or equal to 1. So we'll do a check for that. We'll say if index is less than 1 or index dot is integer, or number dot is integer, index, then return, just return nothing. Or I could do like, I guess I could do like a number or string. Invalid index. And then otherwise this is very similar to the size. So we'll say while count is less than index current. Let's call this current. While current is less than index, node equals node dot next node. Oh, and then we'll do and node dot next node. Then we'll say if there's got to be an easier way to do this. We'll say if node dot value, then return node dot value. If node and. There we go. Else, or then we'll just return index not found or something like that. Gonna go work it out with JS. Right on. Good luck, Nathan. Have a good night or morning, wherever you are. Okay, so that at should work. We should probably be testing these as we go. What is the problem here? Oh, because of... there we go. Type number null is not assignable to type number. What do you mean? Do we need to check if this dot value? Maybe. Function lacks ending return statement and does not include undefined. That should fix it. Okay. Actually, this, I don't even need that check. There we go. All right, so we can test this guy then. So we can say const new, or our, like, we'll just do LL equals new linked list with like a new node of value of like 1 or something. And then we'll say ll dot append 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll do prepend actually. Prepend. I also need to do this the string function too, so that we can view it. So we'll write that. So we'll let it equal nothing, and then we'll do a list traversal as well. Again, let node equal this dot head. And then we'll do our while loop. Say that ll string plus equals node.value and then an arrow. It is used. It's assigned a value but never used. Oh, I see. And ll string plus equals null turn ll string. There we go. And then we'll do ll console.log. Okay. That should work, probably. So, seeing as we saved it, should be in the console over here. Yep. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it didn't add 5 for some reason. Need a space there. Oh, because we're checking. We need to check if node still exists. That's why. There we go. Type node null undefined. It's not assignable to type node. There we go. Okay, so I think that worked. It prepended 0 properly. And then we can do a prepend here. We can prepend 1 again. So 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yep. Or we can prepend -1. Yep. And then we'll get the size. So the size should be what, 7? Yep. And then we'll get console.log ll.at the 5th index, which should be a 3. Yeah, good. They are not the same thing, Gil. I know that. They are not the same thing. Because null, I think, is treated as a value, right? Yeah, TypeScript has 2 special types, null and undefined, that have values null and undefined. Previously, it was not possible to explicitly name these types, but null and undefined may not be used. Yeah, that's true, Gil. Yeah. And you know what? As I say, I'll learn this through doing, right? I could also do it. I suppose I could do it like this too. So instead of doing this, I could do. Or can you do question mark on functions? Maybe not. Maybe not on functions. Where was it for this? I can do this. Can I not? Or is that only for property assignment? Look up unknown. Let's see. Unknown. Okay, maybe that didn't... Any and unknown are the same in terms of what is assignable to them, different in that unknown is not assignable to anything except any. I mean, I do believe that these all have their reasons for existing, right? You can read more about unknown. Unknown, which is a type safe counterpart of any. Oh, I see. Anything is assignable to unknown, but unknown isn't assignable to anything but itself. And any. That's kind of confusing. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, they're all there for a reason. They all have their own... Like, I totally believe that. There's all, like... You know, people are writing TypeScript, and they encounter something, and they're like, oh, it'd be nice to have this separate special type, right? And then they add it, and then it solves some sort of weird problem that they have, right? That's why it's added. Parthiv, what am I building? I'm building a linked list implementation in TypeScript right now. Sorry, I didn't see your comment. So we should remove the head node from the list and return its value. Okay, so I'll write as many more functions here as I can, and then I will end stream after this timer's up. Because again, I'm going shorter tonight. So let's do pop, and then we'll say let old head equal this dot head, and then we'll say let new head equal this dot head dot next node. Actually, no, you know what we'll do? We can just, what does it do? Does it return true if passed? No, it returns it, I see. If size, if this is equal to 0, then return. I think I just do return for this. With any, the compiler doesn't tell you or warn you. Oh, I see. Oh, I appreciate that, Con. How's it going? So it's kind of like, yeah, because I guess using any kind of just avoids the compiler. Like the compiler kind of ignores it. I've ran into that before, Gil, as like kind of like patch solutions to like get around typing problems. You just type something as any. Doing good? Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Just finishing up this linked list implementation in TypeScript. For practice. So... Okay, so we'll do old head, and then we'll do this dot head equals, or actually we'll say if this dot head dot next node, then this dot, this dot head equals this dot head dot next node, return old head. Cost. Yeah, there we go. You're learning DevOps now? Oh, good luck. Good luck, Con. Yo, Anime, how's it going? DevOps is tricky, but you got this. You got this. Okay, so we did the pop function. We'll do the contains. Any suggestions? Like for DevOps specifically, or You did make it again. For DevOps specifically, Con, or like just keeping consistent in general? Because I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not too familiar with DevOps. Like, I know what it is, but I've never learned much of it. Like CI, CD, stuff like that. Tricky in which condition? What do you mean? Contains value as a number. Whoops. Didn't press shift. And then we'll do, okay, so we'll just do a traversal then. This is another traversal. All of these functions are just modified traversals, right? We'll say if node.value equals value, then return true. Otherwise, return false. But yeah, no, like Con, like for just general consistency or general learning or like, you know, learning any skill, my number one tip I have is like kind of just staying consistent, even if it's only a small amount per day. Like for example, today I really didn't feel like streaming. I'm gonna be straight up. I didn't really feel like streaming, but you know, you have to show up even when it's not ideal. But even it's just about staying consistent, right? And it's not to say that if you really don't enjoy it, you shouldn't do it. It's more so that you shouldn't let easy excuses get in the way of your progress, right? Because like I knew that once I sat down and started streaming and coding and talking to you guys, I would get back into the groove, right? But yeah, it's about consistency. Trying to learn Next.js for an upcoming job in Tailwind. Good luck, anime. And you're only like 17 too. That's impressive. At 17, I did not have my shit together like that. Add semicolon. I need whatever the extension is that automatically formats stuff. Well said. Well, I appreciate that, Con. I've kind of given the same advice to like several people that come in here. But you know, it's worthy, I think. Okay, so I'll just do the find index function as well. Value number. And then this is just very similar to @. So we'll just copy the code. Take care. Good night. Yeah. Good night, Con. Can't you just make a do.prettier RC for formatting? I can. Maybe. Like as a file? Is .prettier RC a file? Let me see. I've never done that before. Oh, I can install it like with Node. Try that. Did that create anything? Then how do I use it? Oh, okay. So you can use oh, okay. The VS Code settings will not be used. If any local config file. Editor.format on save. Okay, cool. Oh, that's cool, JMac. I'll look more into this, I think, off stream. But that's neat. I'll pin this somewhere. I guess we'll just put it in there so I don't forget. Okay. So find index. So this should be very similar. So let's index. Well, index. Actually, I don't need to check. Node.next node. And we'll say if node.value equals value, then how do we do index plus plus? Return find index returns value node containing the given value. If the value can't be found in the list, it's return -1. Okay, sure. What is the problem with this, huh? And it returns index. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So yeah, basically every single function in this implementation is just a traversal essentially. So I think what we're gonna do is, I guess our value could be. They want our value to be a string too, but I don't really care. What's today's problem, anime? It's linked list implementation in TypeScript. So I implemented all these functions. So the values, I have them as numbers. I could also maybe make them strings too. So you can have a string value as well as a number value. Although this needs to be, need to do this appropriately here. For the types. TypeScript, yeah. Yeah, that's what we're doing. I'll do 5 more minutes and then I'm gonna head off for tonight. We'll just test this out. Okay, so we've tested out append, prepend, size, at, and then we'll do ll dot contains, let's say -1, or actually let's do 4, and then let's do one that it doesn't contain, like 8, and then doesn't at return the index though? Oh, at index, I see, returns the value, I see, okay. So then find index. So find index for, let's say 3. And then find index for one that doesn't exist, so 7. And then we'll get the tail as well. Make sure the tail works. Okay. When Pomodoro breaks, you must go away your hand from the keyboard and enjoy life. I don't know. I kind of just use the Pomodoro just kind of very loosely. It's on a break right now, but I'm about to end stream, so I'm just powering through it. Okay, so this, let's see. Honestly, I just use the Pomodoro also just to track how long I've been streaming for. Plus, I don't want to bore you guys either. Okay, so the list size is... Oh, that returns the node. Do I want to return the node or the value? Or just return the value, yeah. That's what we want. Tell that next node does not exist on type string number. It shouldn't need to. But anyway. Cannot need, create property next node. New node. I don't know why that breaks it. Yeah, no worries, anime. I'm just doing a shorter stream tonight. I don't know why this breaks it. I'm just going to debug this. Oh, because the tail returns. Okay, that's why. So I need to actually do this like this. That's good. Okay, that should work now. Okay, so the tail is 6. The size is 8, which 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. 3. What is 3? At. What does at do again? Oh, at index. So at index 3, 1, 0, 1, or 1, 2, 3. That should return. Or oh, at index 5. Sorry. Yes. So the value at index 5 is 3. So 0 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then find index 3 is the reverse because we want to find, so it's the 5th. Find index 7 is -1 because there's no 7 node. The list does contain a 4 and it does not contain an 8. Where was the Discord announcement? Oh, shit. I might have forgotten the Discord. I think I actually forgot to announce to the Discord tonight. That's my bad. I usually announce to the Discord. Totally gapped. Totally forgot. It's just been one of those days, you know. So I'm sorry about that. But I'm about to end stream here. I'm just gonna add this to the GitHub. Yeah, I'm feeling tired tonight, so yeah, I apologize. I apologize, but I have to do what I have to do, right? So, but anyway, there's our linked list implementation, guys. I'll do, I think on Sunday when I come back, I'll implement these insert at and remove at functions. And yeah, so I'll leave that there. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate everyone that joined the stream, even though I forgot to announce it in Discord. That's totally my fault. And yeah, what's my time right now? It's 8:33 p.m. anime. I just had a long day at work, and this is my 4th night streaming in a row, so I'm kind of just... I only did 2 hours tonight instead of my usual. Yeah, see you later, guys. I'll see you, yeah, Sunday evening. Around 6:30 to 7 p.m. Eastern time, I'll be live again. Yeah, tomorrow and Saturday, no stream. So, hope you guys have a nice weekend, productive weekend, and yeah, I'll see you then.